Welcome in for another edition of On the Tee. That's right, post-Masters, pre-Heritage, and we're here to recap and preview for you and my partners in crime. Let's bring them in. John Mascari, head pro at Alpine Country Club.
How you doing, Anita?
I love it. I'm great. I won a little bit of money. I didn't win a lot of money. I won a little bit of money. So okay, I'm feeling all right. We're going to break it down. And of course, let's bring in Christina Thompson, CEO extraordinaire of Golf for Her. Got her own little shop in Denville, and you can check her out online at Golf for Her. I always say, what's my phrase, Christina? In order to play good,
you got to look good.
You got to look good. That's right. And that's why you got to shop at Golf for Her. All right, guys. First things first, as always, we start the show. Everybody, we like everybody to have a little cocktail. It is golf, right? This is the 19th hole. That's right. So Christina, our mixologist, she always starts the show with our drink of the week, and we tie it in to the tournament of the week. What you got here, Missy?
Well, I'm really excited about this one because I'm heading to Hilton Head in June, and I'm actually just booked a tea time at Harbour Town. So woo! I am really excited about this drink. So this is it's kind of like a Long Island iced tea meets the South. So this is a Hilton Head tea. I have to tell you, it calls for a liquor infusion of like vodka, rum. I think tequila is also in this triple spec. I've been marinating mangoes and peaches since Saturday, so I can like really get the essence of this drink. So anyway, if Golf for Her doesn't work out, I'm starting drinks for her because
you might not make it through the show.
If I don't make it to the LPGA update at the end of the show, please just like someone fill in for me because this is like legit right now. I don't know if you can see this properly, but yeah, it's a really good drink, really refreshing. It's a Southern tea twist, so bottoms up.
I've been thinking about this, Christina. I think you could write a cocktail book. In all seriousness, when this show season is over, and we're going to be with folks all the way through the end of August, by the way, when this season is over, you should write a on the tea cocktail book.
I think I might, and I actually have all of these recipes stored together. So yeah, it'll be a good, maybe it'll be a New York Times bestseller list. I don't know.
All right. Well, the next tournament is at Hilton Head. It's the Heritage. We're going to preview that for you. We'll have our picks, our plays, DFS, monkey knife fight. We're going to get to that a little bit later on the show. But as always, we like to look back before we look forward, and of course, we're going to look back to the Masters. So let's kick off with the biggest storyline, and that's of course Hideki winning. And it was really interesting on Sunday, right? And I talked about this on my radio show. And, Hideki winning is so much larger than him just getting a green jacket. And I know I'm stating the obvious, right? But like even exponentially, and I'm not to get political on this show, okay? But, just what the Asian community has been dealing with the last few months, let alone the last year, okay? It's been a difficult road for them, especially here in the United States, right? That compounded with the fact that there'd never been a male Japanese golfer who'd ever won a major, let alone the Masters. We've had two Asian women, right, Christina, but never an Asian man, and on top of it, the thing that we know about Hideki is that on Sundays, he typically wets the bed, right? Like on Sundays, the pressure's too big and he's not so great putting the ball. It's not his strong suit. He's a great iron player. He's a great second shot player. And even Schauffele said, I think after Saturday's round, he said he doesn't think anybody on tour hits their irons as well as Hideki does. So I felt like he was coming in, and not only was the pressure obviously so big for him to win a green jacket, but like it was like an Olympic moment. right? Like, did you get the feeling like he was playing? It was larger than life. He wasn't just playing for himself. He was playing for his country, and all that entailed. And I thought the storyline was really, really unbelievable. And like I said, I think where we are in society right now, I don't think there would have been a better time for an Asian to win not just a major, but the Masters. John, let's go to you. Your thoughts on Hideki's win.
I think he showed a lot of poise. He tried to give it away at the end, but hit 4 great shots coming in. Even hitting the shot into the bunker on 18, calmly hit it up there close. It was impressive to see that the moment didn't get above him. I think he stayed in the moment. I think it was fun to watch. I was screaming at the television on 15 when he hits it into the water behind the green. But it was, like, to your point, Anita, just a super event for him, for the Asian community, for golf in Japan. I think it's going to experience a big boom because of this. And what better way to grow the game than to bring home a green jacket to your home country?
Christina?
You know, I'm going to add, I mean, you guys have already said, obviously, you know, this is a big time. It was like he was winning for his country, and it was a very special time. I mean, I think this win really defines him as an elite golfer, and really gave Japan the biggest week they've had in golf. And I'm just going to tie it back a little bit to what happened the week prior when you had Tsubasa Kajitani, who won the Augusta National Women's Amateur on the Saturday prior, who was obviously, she's from Japan. So to have that happen, you know, within a week from each other in a country that has been struggling so much recently. Golf has kind of declined over the years because of the economy, and they've been really trying to, you know, elevate golf in this country again. We've had great players over the years come out of Japan. I mean, Ai Miyazato, who's one of my favorite LPGA players who retired a few years ago. We've had some spectacular golf, but I think now the floodgates are going to open in Japan, and we are going to see them spend a lot more time trying to cultivate that young golfer and really try to get some really great blood out there. And so it's done wonders for their program.
Really quick, I'm just curious, and again, for folks that might be just tuning into the show for the first time, again, Christine is the CEO, owner of Golf for Her, and there's a number of LPGA players that wear her brand on tour, and she's extremely familiar with the LPGA, and so that's why each and every show she contributes an LPGA update. Just out of curiosity, why is it that I look at the LPGA and the success that the Asian women have had in the women's game and how dominant they've been, very similar to like soccer, right? Here in the United States, right? Like, why is it that women's soccer just kicks everybody's ass, right? But the men can't even qualify for a World Cup. It's very similar. Why is that? Why are Asian women so dominant and so successful on the women's tour? And this is the first time we're having an Asian, you know, a Japanese man win the Masters.
Yeah, it's a great conversation. I've had this conversation many times, and if those who are not familiar, the Asian countries, they spend a lot of time with their elite programs, their elite junior programs, and so like us, we have our elite gymnastic programs. We spend those, you know, that time with those kind of athletes. In the US, we don't really have that program, but in China and Thailand, they spend a lot of time growing and cultivating that younger athlete, and they spend a lot of their resources in doing that. And in Japan over the years, golf was a male-dominated sport. It was really a wealthier sport. Golf in Japan is very expensive. So I think that you've seen certain countries spend a lot of time cultivating their younger girls. And I think now you're going to see Japan kind of surge a little bit. I mean, we did have Hanano Shibuno, who won the British Open. She was from Japan. She won that in 2019, 21 years old. So I just think that's kind of the start of all of this. So I think we're going to see more male golf pros out there. But I think, like you said, on the LPGA Tour, we've had such a strong presence with the Asian players because of the incredible programs that they have for these players. And I don't think it's going to end anytime soon.
Interesting. So what those programs benefit the women, the young women and the young girls in Japan more so than the young boys?
Yeah. And that's what we've seen. That's how the programs are set up. I mean, if you go and it's interesting, if you go to Thailand where Yanni Sang is teeing it up, she has Tiger Woods size audience in her gallery. I mean, she is a rock star over there. But even Hideki, when he plays overseas, I mean, the crowds are Tiger-sized crowds for him, but they're there to watch Tiger, but they're rooting for Hideki. So it's just the way the programs have been. I mean, and women's golf is always been a premier athlete sport for the Asians.
Where do we go from here? There's so many storylines that came out of the Masters, right? Let's go with we'll go with the guy that I thought was going to win it. I was excited. I thought he was going to come in and pop that spinach, pop, boom, boom, and muscle that course. Here's the thing, guys. If you ever hear me say that I'm exactly John, slap
the money right out of your hands.
If I ever say that I'm going to put money on DeChambeau to win the Masters again, just slap me silly, please. Just slap me. Just like, what was I thinking? You know what? This is what I was thinking. I was thinking, dude learned his lesson in November. Dude learned his lesson in November. No. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. So,
no. Yep. No surprise.
Yeah. My guy who I picked was, he fired up the jet a little early. Sung J.M. I think he was 87 over par.
Yeah.
Who knows? He was.
No. What happened? What was it? Was it Thursday, right? Thursday. He like went in the tank. What
imploded, right? Who knows? He imploded. And I mean, you could dig yourself a hole real easy at Augusta, as we've seen with some of the players, and he did that. And I think he was just mentally out of it, and then just wanted to go home. I just want to go home.
I just want to go home. I just want to pack up my balls and go home.
I just want to pack up my balls and go home.
So M didn't make the cut. DJ did not make the cut. Rory, but that's no surprise, right? We had Mike Adams. What a huge interview that was, Mike Adams.
That was awesome.
I won a ton of money with Mike Adams on the show, telling us that Rory's swing was in the toilet.
He's got to figure it out. Rory's got to get his shit together.
Yeah, good luck with that.
He hit his dad with a golf ball, for crying out loud.
Even if you tried, and right. Oh, by the way, there weren't a lot of people out there.
Right. Sorry, Dad, I hit you right in the ass. I'm sorry.
Was in the? I thought it was in the
poetic.
Calf.
I don't know. I just like saying it in the ass.
Okay. Well, Christina, you put Justin Thomas. So what after the what did he? I didn't hear the post round. Did he talk about what happened to him after the rain delay? Because that's where he really went in the toilet. Was after the rain delay.
Yeah, it was like after the rain delay. I mean, I was like, "Whoo! I got this. I got this." Me and Mike Adams, like, money, right? Mainly screwed everybody up, but for Hideki, he came out and he kind of like exploded, like in a good way, where everybody else kind of fell apart. So I don't know.
I don't know if anyone picked Hideki to win this thing. Honestly, did we even mention his name?
90 to 1. Who was going to pick nobody? Him? Dude can't putt. Dude can't putt.
It was.
I mean, and that was the story going into Thursday, was how fast and how difficult these greens were going to be. Why would you pick somebody who's like low down on the rankings in regard to putting? No.
Yeah.
John, what do you have you ever played in a tournament where you had a rain? I'm assuming you have, where you have a rain delay, and then like Hideki said he was in his car playing around on his phone. Okay.
No, I'll tell you exactly.
He 6 birdies in his last 7, 8 holes, something like that, like 9 holes. What do you do in a rain delay, John?
The first thing you want to do once the delay is over is go putt. You have to see the speed of the greens and how much they've changed, and it's always going to change. Remember, it's raining, it's getting soft, it's getting wet, but once the rain stops, they're going to dry out. They're going to get more firm, and they have that sub-air system at Augusta where they can draw the water out of the greens at the flip of a switch. Mm-hmm. So that's always the challenge when you're playing in a rain delay. Is all right. Forget everything I knew the first round or the beginning of the round, and I have to kind of recalibrate and recalculate on a new course. that I'm playing. It's a totally new course.
And do you feel JT just couldn't get a feel for the greens after that?
I think it was just not only the greens but the turf. You saw he hit that chip shot fat into the water on his approach. You're talking about a guy who's got one of the best short games in the planet, and it's just a different animal. It's a different course. You have to reset and start anew.
Let's give a big shout out to John Rahm. All right. I was not expecting, shot a 66 on Sunday. Was not expecting that from a new proud papa. So he totally surpassed my expectations. I know you liked him going in, Christina.
Yeah, it's so funny, just watching Rahm play these last few tournaments. I mean, it's like he's always like he's there. He always play. He's a good golfer. I mean, he's the top golfer in the world. But it's like he shows up on Sunday. Like he's always like kind of like hovering around, and then here he comes. Here's Rahm. He shows up on Sunday. So it was, listen, there were so many cool storylines to be rooting for. It was hard to root for a player. I was kind of like, what storyline am I rooting for? Like, it'd be cool if Rahm, the new dad, comes out and wins, And then I know we're gonna talk about Willie Z, but I mean, there was just so many cool stories, and this would have been a fun one to talk about. But yeah, Rahm, he's a good guy. I'm just waiting for this major. Come on, he's got to get this first major. He deserves one.
Did somebody say Willie Z? I think so. My guy. Now everybody's guy. Okay.
Now he's everyone.
Now he's everybody's guy. I was so worried. That's Spieth, by the way. That's a picture of Spieth in the back, but that's okay. I was so worried that I was anxious to see what the lines were for the Heritage, to see what his top 20 odds were going to be, and they're still plus money. They're still plus 110.
Why? How? Sorry.
Shh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put some money on.
I don't know.
It's so funny because so many people were like, "This is Willie Z." I walked into the office on Monday, and all the girls in the office, they were talking about him, and I'm like, yeah. What a story. Like the Cinderella story, right? If he would have come out and won this. So
I've been saying all season long, he is the golf ATM machine. Just bet money down that he's going to finish in the top 20 at plus money, and you can buy yourself a new pair of shoes every freaking Monday.
You guys see they actually came out with a Willie Z figurine. Did you see this?
No. No.
You're such a jerk.
He's like 112 pounds.
I think he's like a 28-inch waist. I'm not even kidding you. Right?
I had a 28-inch waist when I was like 13.
So I was watching with a few friends on Sunday. No pimento cheese. Oh, which by the way, wait, let me tell a story first. Then I want to hear about your care package. So I was watching with a few friends, and of course, every time Willie came on, I love him. Yeah, exactly.
Move over, Ricky.
Ricky who?
Exactly.
And what is this orange?
Bye.
Wow.
Anyway. Anywho, okay. So where am I right now? Oh, so every time he came on, I'd get excited, and so like the girlfriends I had over were like, he's funny looking. I was like, what do you mean he's not funny looking? He's thin, he's lean, he's fine. Like he's not funny looking. Everybody was like, he's funny looking. I was like, I don't know what you mean by funny looking. I think he looks just fine. Do you guys think he's funny looking?
He looks like. Go ahead, Christina. No. I'll defer to the ladies first, but go ahead.
So I look at him. I'm like, he could either be a professional surfer or he can be a golfer. But if like Owen Wilson and like Matthew McConaughey
had a baby, and like Bradley Cooper was the surrogate, that's the child that Willie is.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I think he's like Spicoli.
100%.
Bad times at Ridgemont High. Sean Penn, Spicoli. I know that dude.
His nose isn't that bad.
I was waiting for him to order a pizza and have it delivered on the golf course. That would have been
Mr. Hand.
Anyway, I'm thrilled for him. I'm over the moon for him. He's
Yeah.
gonna, he's gonna win this year. It's just a matter of it's not about if, it's a matter of when.
I'll go one further. I think he makes the Ryder Cup team.
Ooh,
What a story this would be for the 2021 season if he does. I mean,
I love that.
Yeah.
Again, some other storylines and Jordan Spieth. Listen, again, I know he coming in, he was favored. He had the second best odds to win this. He was favored second to DJ. I wasn't expecting that from him. Again, we had Mike Adams on. He used the phrase "smoke and mirrors," if we recall. And Jordan did better. Jordan Spieth and John Rahm performed better than what I thought.
I was impressed with Spieth. I still, I said it a few weeks ago. He's playing really good golf. He's got some really good momentum. I mean, he has, a win already now. Finally, he, ended that winless drought. But it's nice to see Spieth playing. I mean, I feel like he complains after every single one of his shots. Like, I feel like every time he takes a shot, it's like he's never happy with himself. So I don't know.
But let's be honest. It's really fucking annoying, right?
Yes, it's very annoying.
Okay.
Very.
All right. I'm glad I got
listen.
that off. I'm glad I got that off my chest. Like he needs to stop. He needs to stop. Yeah.
It's so hard to root for him. Like when he's always complaining about his golf game. My God, if I could only have a fraction of his game.
But he only really hit 2 bad shots in the whole tournament. He took that triple on 9 on Thursday, and then he catches a flyer and makes double on Saturday on 7, and whoop, I'm out of the tournament. He lost. I mean, obviously tied third, and we'll talk about how other golfers tend to on themselves a little bit, but I thought he played great. It was nice to see him, but yes, the complaining thing is getting old.
All right, so I guess you just set the stage for Schauffele. Go ahead, John, take it away.
Oh,
in his hand. In his hands.
Oh,
The guy hits over the green on 15. He makes double. Schauffele makes birdie. 2-shot lead with 3 left. And the honor on the tee on a 180-yard par 3. And he hits first and dunks it into the water. Dude, hit the green. Just hit the green. If he stuffs it in there, forget it. It's over. Hideki's no way is he winning this event. He had all the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Hideki's shaking in his kimono, whatever you call this. And he hits it in the water. And you could tell how nervous Hideki was that he hits it to the far right side of the green just so he has nothing to do with the flag. He didn't want anything to do with it. Smart golf. But, oh, my God, I was on the floor like, dude, what are you doing?
So if I heard correctly, I want to say he used a 9-iron, and then when he was done, he turned and he said, "I should have used the 8." Right?
No, he hit 8 and he should have hit 7.
There you go. Okay.
Yep.
He turned to his caddy, who apparently I was listening to one of the commentators. They were teammates at school, right? I think his caddy, right?
I think so.
And he turned to him and he had said, "I should have used, a different club."
Well, the thing was, he was hitting this high cut shot all week, hitting this big high floating cut into that hole. It sets up perfectly. You get it off the mound, it works right back in. And for some reason, he decides to turn one over the other way and hit a draw into this hole. And I think he said he hit it wasn't the shot, and he didn't think correctly at the time. Maybe he was lost in the moment, whomever. He said he flushed it, which is, add salt to the wound here. You flush it into the water. But man,
he blew up my master's pool.
The guy, and here's the thing, he was out of it.
That's all Christina cares about. He was blew up my master's pool.
He was out of it, and then he got back into it, and then he got back out of it, and then he came back into it. It was like, I can't take this anymore. And I was pulling real hard for him. He lost 3 shots on like the first 6 holes, and he was like, "All right." I'm like, "He's done, over." And then little bit, creeping up. And then that turn of events on 15 was like, here we go. It was like, let's go. And then
yeah, but it made it fun to watch. Like
it was great. It was great theater.
Would it have been even better theater if it would have gone into a playoff? Absolutely, right? But it's still, I mean, it still was great theater, and that, what more can you ask for, especially in a major that's the Masters, for sure.
Yeah.
Any other storylines you guys want to touch on before we bring up the FedEx Cup standing?
Actually, I just want to add, I know you both have seen the video of Hideki's caddy, Shota Hayafuji, at the end of the...
You are fantastic with these names, by the way. Fantastic. Bravo.
But how at his caddy,
he was wearing a shirt.
It was his caddy at the end of the tournament. He was walking off with the pin.
Oh, yeah.
He was going to save the pin as a souvenir. But anyway, I think he put the pin back and then he bowed to the to the Augusta and like a very poignant moment.
Right.
And I was just like,
Did you cry? Did you cry? Did you shed a tear?
I didn't shed a tear, but I think I liked every time someone posted it on any social media. I think I was like triple tapping it, but it just to me that was beautiful. So
you're a quick crier, Christina. I think you're really quick to.
When it comes to I'm a sucker for these moments.
You fan the eyes. You go.
What was the unique thing? What about the T-shirt? There was a buzz about the T-shirt he was wearing, the logo. Nothing.
I didn't see anything about that.
Bueller, anyone? Okay.
No, nothing. Okay. Maybe for the listeners.
All right. So
crickets.
Crickets.
Here's the crickets.
Okay. Let's bring up the FedEx Cup standings, please. All right. So DeChambeau, even though Mr. Popeye could not muscle the course, he still is at the top of the FedEx standings. Justin Thomas, who wet the bed after the rain delay, happens sometimes. He's second. Schauffele, of course, valiant performance, but couldn't seal the deal. Cantlay, and then Victor Hovland comes in 5. You've got Jordan Spieth at 6. Hideki moves up to 7 after this Masters win, by the way, with 1,244 points. Dustin Johnson is at 8. Tony Finau. We didn't even talk about Tony, our guy, Tony. Tony Finau is at 9. And John Rahm is at 10 with 1,071 points. So that's our FedEx standings, by the way. We show that to you each and every week after a tournament. All right, guys. The next major is the PGA Championship taking place at, I'm going to butcher it, Kiowa, the ocean course. There we go, in South Carolina. Pete Dye designed course, known as one of the most difficult, top 3 most difficult courses in the country, let alone possibly in the world. Long, wide fairways, lots of wind, Bermuda grass. Somewhat of a links course, so it kind of gives you the feel that you're playing across the pond. Rory won it here in 2012. Not that we expect him to win it this year. Some other top 10s that year. Ian Poulter has had success here. Justin Rose has had success here. But there's 2 players that I'm eyeing as we and what I mean by that, I'm going to watch their performance as we get closer to the PGA Championship. One is John Rahm. Okay. He is, as we know, he tied for 5th, shot a 66 on Sunday, and he's 23rd in driving distance. You're going to need a lot of distance to play well on this course. And the other one is Webb Simpson. And so by the way, John Rahm is 14-1, favored 14-1 to win the PGA Championship. And the other dude I'm watching is Webb Simpson. He's 33-1. Again, tied for 12th at the Masters. He is a Carolina native. And he's 8th in strokes gained around the green, another metric that you need to win here. So those are two players that I'm going to be keeping an eye on the next few weeks as we get closer to the PGA Championship. Some of the odds out there: DJ is favored to win this bad boy, 10-1. Rahm 11-1. JT 12-1. Bryson 14-1. Spieth 16. Morikawa 22. Cantlay, that's a guy to keep an eye on as well, 25-1. Decky 25-1, and Willie Z and Webb Simpson are both 33-1. John, let's start with you. Based on what you've seen at the Masters and what you've seen from this season, and knowing how that ocean course plays, is there a golfer you're going to be keeping your eye on the next several weeks as we get closer to the PGA Championship?
Yeah, certainly. One player, and his Masters showing wasn't very good, but he's a South Carolina native and a real underrated win player. And I think if you ask the guys on tour, he's really fantastic in adverse conditions, and that's Dustin Johnson. I'm going to pull one out from the Christina Thompson book of going chalk here and picking DJ to win this thing. But someone who I don't think is really getting the respect he deserves is Colin Morikawa. You know, he's fallen in the Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, I tell you, I got no respect here, okay? And I like him to have a good showing as well.
Christina, anybody you're keeping an eye on the next few weeks as we get closer to the PGA Championship?
You know, I think I'm falling into the Willie Z category. I hate to tell you, I'm coming in for you. Coming in. Listen, we talk about Willie. We talk about your boy all the time, but God, I was so impressed with his whole story. We know where he's come from with the Corn Ferry Tour and blah, blah, blah. We know it. Or maybe we don't, but I just love him. I just think this kid, he showed up at the Masters and came in second. I mean, come on, dude. Like that he showed he has the grit and the grind and belongs on this tour.
Let me ask you this question, guys. And how much of it is the fact, do you think he's feeding off the fact that he's still kind of not very known? I mean, if you go on like any of these DFS sites, they still don't have a picture of the guy.
I know.
You know, like he's kind of still under the radar. Like we know about him, but hey, dude, the spotlight's on you now. Like, is that going to change? Do you think he's going to start to feel the heat? You know, a little more people at his press conferences.
I think he's so chill.
Did you hear what he said to the media this week?
Yeah, he was like,
he's like, man,
if I'm stupid enough to think I can play here, I'm stupid enough to think I can win here.
Yes, I think this kid is. I just said kid. I just aged myself. I think Willie is gonna play. I think you're gonna see him creep up the next few tournaments. I like him. I like him a lot. He's
get on the Willie Z train.
I'm on the bus, baby.
Woo, woo. I love it. All right. This week it is the Heritage, taking place at a course where Christina just booked a tee time. What's your tee time, boo?
I don't know. It's June. Sometime in June I'm going. We're playing I'm so excited. I'm beyond excited. I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm a little jelly, not gonna lie. I'm sure, John, you've played this course before, right?
I have played there.
All right,
brutal.
Brutal.
So really quick, I'm just going to share with you some of the metrics that I spent a good 3 hours today researching, and you tell me yay, nay, and what you think it's going to take to win here. Driving accuracy, ball striking, strokes gained around the greens, strokes gained on approach, greens and regulation, scrambling, I think is going to be a really big key. Sand saves, putting, especially on Bermuda grass. Those are the metrics that I researched today. Your thoughts, John?
I think driving accuracy is going to be real important. Did you mention greens and regulation? These greens are tiny.
Yeah, tiny. The smallest on tour, right?
Right. Yeah. So the average green size on tour is about 6,000, a little bit over 6,000 square feet. These are like 3,700. So you want to talk about like a postage stamp. So getting it on the green, giving yourself birdie putts, real important. Birdie average, obviously, is a stat you're looking for. And your sand saves percentage might be one we might want to look at too.
So are you thinking that someone who's a strong iron hitter is going to have a better advantage than someone who's a driver, like a bomber?
I wouldn't say driving. I mean, listen, the golf course is still long. It's not Augusta 7,500. It's 7,000 yards, but I would put more of a premium on driving accuracy than length. Yeah,
I mean, from what I understand, I spent like 3 hours today researching all this, but there's guys who've won this tournament and they didn't use their driver once. They teed off with their 3-wood all day, all week, all 4 rounds. Wow. All right, so with that being said, here are the guys that I like. Here are the guys that I think are going to win. I'm all over Webb Simpson. I think he's going to repeat and defend his title. I'd like him to win it. I'm going to play him to win it. I'm going to play him in the top 5, top 10. Also, I like the straight forecast of Webb and Morikawa, Webb and Cantlay. I've got Morikawa coming in the top 5. I've got Cantlay coming in the top 10. Another guy that I really like is Corey Connors. I thought he played well, tied for 21st here last year. His metrics, 7th in driving accuracy, 6th in ball striking. Abe Answer, another guy that I like to finish in the top 10. And you know me, like I said, Willie Z finishing in the top 20 at plus 110 all day, every day. Every time Willie Z tees up in a tournament, I'm going to put money down for him to finish in the top 20. And again, you can get him at plus 110. A guy that I'm looking to finish in the top 40 at plus money. How about Matt Kuchar? He loves Pete Dye courses, and he excels well in Pete Dye courses. And again, you get that at minus 109. It's not plus money. It's minus 109, but not too much juice. So those are the guys that I'm looking to win. But I've got Webb Simpson winning this. Christina, who do you like?
I agree with you. I like Webb Simpson to defend his title. I think he shredded the course last year at 22 under. I think this course sets up really well for him. He's coming off a T12 win last week. He's had, a double top 6 finishes in his last few starts. So I think this course sets up really well for him. I like Webb. I mean, I like Answer too. I mean, he's finished runner up last year. So I mean, I think he's got, hot chance too to win it. But Willie Z, Colin, Cantlay, I'm done with him. Every time I pick him to do anything, I know he has disappointed me so many times. So I'm done. But anyway, I like.
He's only 4th on the FedEx Cup list. So
I know, I got that. And DJ, but DJ's done nothing too. So so Shane Lowry, I think we're going to see a top 5 from him. Corey Connors, same thing. Matt Fitzpatrick, I kind of like him too. I think
I'm fading Fitzpatrick.
You are. Why?
How about this? I will wager you a bottle of wine that
Okay.
that Hatton finishes better than Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Bottom.
Cheers. I ran out. Like I had to go get more.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny, John. Who do you like this week?
Oh, you guys kind of stole my thunder with Abraham Answer. I think he's going to have a great tournament. 2nd in driving accuracy on the tour. One of the guys that I've been really keeping an eye on is our good friend Billy Horschel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Billy was at
with a wet bum. He's got a wet bum.
And a bad
that, didn't you?
But anyway.
He fell on his arse. I like Billy. I mean, he was 60 something to 1, then he got to 50 to 1, and now he's at 40 to 1. So I think he figured it out on Sunday. I think he got the putter going. He had some bad luck at Augusta, so I like him. I also like Kevin Na for some reason. I don't know. He's been good of late. Top 10 there in his last 2 appearances at Harbour Town. Finished top 20 last 5 of the last 6 tournaments. How about I like Billy, but I think Kevin Na is going to be at the top of the leaderboard as well.
I like Kevin. Kevin Na tied for 28th in scrambling. He came up in a few of my metrics. Tied for 24th in driving accuracy.
Okay, I'm not far off. That's good.
And 3rd in strokes gained around the green. So I'd put some coin on Kevin Na to finish in the top 40. Why not?
Why not?
You could probably get that at plus money as well.
Yeah.
I just, before we move on, I just want to share with you the metrics for Webb Simpson, since both Christina and I are on him. 5th in driving, like all the metrics, his name kept on surfacing and high. Okay.
Yeah.
5th in driving accuracy, 1st in scrambling, 9th in sand play, 13th in putting, and does putt well on Bermuda greens. Tied for 22nd in ball striking, 8th in strokes gained around the green, and tied for 23rd in greens and regulation this season. I just like the exactly. So I think the metrics, and cover your ass, play him to win, top 5. So you can get him at top 10 at plus 110. So I really do like Webb Simpson this week. All right, let's throw up. We're going to throw up our DFS and our Monkey Knife Fight lineups. Let's start with my DFS lineups. I'm kind of doing it different this week. So I'm playing Webb Simpson. He's my common denominator across the board. Okay, so Webb is my common denominator across the board. I'm going to mix my second player up. And again, I have them lined up here because this is the same price category, right? So that you could tinker with these guys. So I'm going to throw in Morikawa, Cantlay, and Willie Z. Okay. My third player, it's either going to be Zalatoris, Corey Connors, or Answer. And then let's move to my fourth player. The other graphic, Brett. There we go. So I'm going to alternate. Emilio Grillo, believe it or not, is one of the best iron players. He is 5th in ball striking. There are some other stats here that I came across. He's 3rd in greens and regulation. And I like Kisner as well. So I'm going to alternate them. And then I like Siwoo Kim. He was really impressive this past week at the Masters. I know he's hit or miss on this course, but I like what I saw from him this past week. So I'm going to alternate between him and Neesmith. Neesmith, again, another dude who's just like #1 in greens and regulation, tied for 3rd in ball striking. And then last but not least, John, like you, I'm going to alternate between Kevin Na, and Ian Poulter. Ian Poulter, he always makes the cut here. So I know at least I'm going to get him for 4 days.
I like Poulter on that.
Yeah. So that's how I'm playing my DFS lineup. I'm going to tinker with all these guys. John, let's see John Mascari's DFS lineup. Break it down for us, John.
Get your pens out, everyone. Here we go. And why don't you go ahead and just talk about my first pick right there.
Chris. Yeah.
Bazoodenhout. I actually just picked him because I wanted to hear you butcher his name. Listen, I'm high on Billy Ho. I'm high on Webb, just like you guys are. Willie Z also. His price has been skyrocketing as of late. Threw Charles Howell in with my last pick because it's kind of all the money I had left. But talk about Wes Bryant. His last win was here at Harbour Town. He's been on the IR for a long time with a torn labrum. It's his home state. I like him kind of coming home and playing well in this event.
Ooh,
that's Photoshop Willie Z. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I can't look at that avatar anymore. Next time, I want to see Photoshop.
Yeah, I want to Photoshop my face in for Willie Z. Just for the hell of it.
That's a really sassy play there with your Brian pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. All right. That's aggressive. It's aggressive. All right, let's look at Monkey Knife Fight. Always fun to play a little Monkey Knife Fight.
I gotta tell you, I love this app. I love it, love it, love it. It is so much fun. There's so many cool different picks to go and select from. So, I mean, I only know I do these 2, but I want to see the LPGA. So whoever's listening from Monkey Knife Fight, I need to see some LPGA picks on here because I'm all in. But anyway, and I love the fantasy points because they're a lot of fun too. So anyway, someone who, like me, how I like to gamble, this is kind of my fun way. But in this pick here, I've got fantasy points here. It's, eagle or better, you get 5 points, birdies, you get 3 points, and par, you get 1 point. So in this match,
you're fading Cantlay. Whoa!
I told you, I'm just
you're over him. You're done.
Done.
You're done with that relationship.
We are. We're off. Okay. So Colin got my pick on that one, and then my second fantasy point picks, I am doing. I got Webb over DJ.
I like it.
And Zalatoris over Cantlay.
Whoa! Somebody's bought it. Somebody's on the Zalatoris train. Woo woo!
Why not? I think I can make some money here. So I'm following your lead, Anita. I like this kid. Awesome. So these are my picks.
I love it. I love it. Great stuff. Just a reminder, we'll answer any questions you have at the end of the show. If you want to post them to the message board, Brett, who's running the show from behind the glass, will jump on board and he'll provide those questions for us. So please make sure you do that. A few things before we sign off. I want to give you a Tiger update because we didn't get to it last week. We want an LPG update and the Caddy Network. Do you follow them on social media? The Caddy Network?
No, but I do now.
So apparently they're like all the caddies on tour, and they have their own website, and so they posted. I guess they all sent in their biggest pet peeves. I want to end the show on them. I want to have some fun and end the show on them. But really quick, I'm just going to read from the article that I printed up. So Tiger Woods was driving nearly at least 84 miles an hour in a 45 mile per hour zone when he crashed in Southern California. The LA County Sheriff's Office announced on Wednesday. So Woods will not be charged with a crime as speeding and the inability to negotiate the curve. That's what they're calling it on the roadway. The police believes that Wood was driving 84, 87 miles an hour when he first lost control of the vehicle, and then 95, man, this is unbelievable, 95 miles an hour when he finally crashed into the tree. Horrific. Now what they're assuming based on their investigation is that he may have hit the gas instead of the brake when his car first started veering off the road. So that's what the police are reporting. Past history is substance abuse or driving while intoxicated is not enough to obtain probable cause in their assumption that whether or not he was impaired or not. They said in addition to observing Woods and his vehicle at the scene, authorities reviewed the footage of Tiger loading the car at the hotel before he was on his way to the shoot and driving on both city roads and the highway prior to the crash. And there was no indication with that video that he was operating the vehicle erratically. So there was no signs of impairment, just FYI. So as we know, he's back in Florida and he's rehabbing, and hopefully he'll be able to play golf again. I find it really interesting, guys. The Masters odds for 2022 came out, and Woods is on them.
Okay.
So I know. So hey, listen, I like it. I like the fact that he was in the 2022. I mean, obviously, we don't know what the status is. We don't know what the future holds for.
Do we know what
Tiger.
the odds are? What are his odds?
I don't have them in front of me. I just know that I know that those odds did come out, and he's on the odds board.
Wow.
So anyway, before we get to the Caddy Network and all the caddies' pet peeves, I'm sure John can't wait to hear those, Mr. Alpine Country Club.
I love our caddies. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying that you don't love your caddies, but you don't like to hear people complaining, right?
I never hear anyone complaining.
Of course you don't. Christina, give us an LPGA update.
Yep. So the ladies are in Hawaii for the Lotte Championship. Oahu. The event starts tomorrow and goes till Saturday. This event was not played last year because of the COVID-19 situation.
Mm-hmm.
This tournament is the first of a 4-week stretch for the ladies. They're going to Hawaii, then they come back mainland to LA for the LA Open, then they go back to Singapore and Thailand. But this week, Brooke Henderson will be in the field to defend her second title. So she's going for a three-peat. She is actually not the heavy favorite this week, but if anyone's looking for players to put some dough down on for the LPGA, I recommend looking at Danielle Kang. She's a 28-year-old. She's had 3 consecutive top 13 finishes this year, most recently at the Kia Classic last month. She finished 5th at the 2019 Lotte Championship. That was the last time they had the event. Her boyfriend, Maverick McNeely, is actually teeing it up in RBC this week. The other player I really like is Arya Jutanagarn. She's played this championship every year since 2016. She has 4 top 15 finishes out there in Hawaii, plus a third place finish in 2019. So I like Arya. I also have kudos. She's got one of the best caddies on tour. That's Peter Godfrey. And Inbee Park. She's the 21-time winner. She's teeing it up this week. She is a solid bet to win this tournament as well. Listen, anytime Inbee Park is in the field at any event, like I would just put all my money on Inbee because she is one of the coolest, most consistent players that are out there. These games are going to be small. They're a little elevated, so I think we're going to see some incredible iron shots this weekend and a great tournament. Now, just want to give you a quick little update on Sandra Gall. So Sandra Gall, she's the 35-year-old LPGA Tour player from Germany. She has been on an extended leave because she has been she's been experiencing lingering effects of Lyme disease. So she actually announced today that she will extend her medical leave. So we will not see her play anymore in the 2021 season. Although she did play a few events earlier this year. I think she said she was just had no energy. So she will be skipping the rest of the year. Hopefully she'll get better. We wish her all the best. And, we hope to see her back out there next year. But there's a lot going on right now on the LPGA Tour. Like I said, next week, the ladies come back here. They'll be here for the LA Open at Wilshire Country Club. Wish I can go out there. It's going to be a star-studded event out there. But lots of good things happening on the LPGA Tour. So people watch the LPGA. I can't say it enough.
Just out of curiosity, when you get done, do you guys, every time you play golf, do you come home when you shower? Do you check for ticks? Like, is that like, do you do it every time? Are you consistent with it?
So it's funny you said that, because Lyme disease is a big deal for golfers. I think anyone who's a golfer needs to check their body for ticks.
Absolutely.
It is imperative. I am going to say I am guilty of not checking every single time. But when we play here in the Northeast, we're like in the my ball, is usually in the fairway.
No, we know where your
There's
ball
no
goes.
chicks in the fairway.
We know where your ball goes, Christina. Christina, you need to check. We all need to check. I know a lot of times you come home from the course, maybe you spent a little bit too much time on the 19th hole. You come home, you're tired. All you want to do is jump in, take a damn shower and check yourself.
PSA, the more you know.
There you go. All right. Let's well, actually, before we get to our questions, we're going to end with our questions. If you have questions for the show, make sure you post them on the message board. Brett will share them with us, but I've been reading these. These are pretty good. You ready?
All right.
And this is what we need to do. If you've ever done this, you've got to say I. Okay. You've got to admit if you've ever done this before. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Rangefinder battery dies on second tee.
I think my battery's dead now.
You know what I did? I have batteries now in my car. I've got those little batteries for the rangefinder in my car, and I give them out like candy as well, by the way. I do.
What's candy here?
Yeah, here's a rangefinder battery. Anyway, all right. Hitting a 12-footer, 12 feet by the hole and telling you it didn't break. I've never done that. I don't do that. Players, what are you shaking your head, John?
12-footer, 12 feet past the hole, Christina?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Seriously?
I'm sorry. John is just that excellent of a putter. Players who repeatedly hand me their trash to throw away. John, you do that, John? You give trash to your caddy? Leaving the club, resting on the bag. Put that shit back in. I lean it on the bag. Every time I hear, really, I want to say, no, actually, I'm giving you bad information in hopes in making less money today.
Wow. That's harsh. That's harsh. Fucking kidding me? Really? Remind me to never caddy for you, ever.
I know. I say that. I'm like, really? Yeah, really.
Like, have you seen it before?
Amateur golfers who use tour bags that have rain gear on a sunny day, enough balls to fill a range bucket. Oh my God. And head covers on all their clubs. I purposely have my little flimsy bag because I never know when I'm gonna have a caddy and I don't want them to carry like one of those big bulky like John has those big leather bags.
Wait, and when we played Liberty, I remember when I showed up with I have a big cart bag, and I remember Phil.
I was embarrassed.
Like, what is this?
I was embarrassed.
Right.
I was embarrassed for you.
So I'll tell you that we keep spare golf bags at Alpine when guests come up with ridiculous bags that the caddies don't have to carry. And we'll say, it's almost like, hey, let me switch that over for you.
That's
kind of without saying it. But I could tell you last weekend, we were busting a guy's stones about how heavy his carry bag was. We pulled out 38 golf balls out of the bag. 38. Who needs 38 golf balls? Are you that bad that you need 38 golf balls?
Caddies.
I sound like Jim Mora now.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Golf balls.
Golf balls.
Caddies wearing golf shoes. Do your caddies wear golf shoes, John? Jonathan?
Some of them do. The smarter guys wear better sneakers.
A 25 handicap with a 3-wood out of the rough.
What the fuck?
You know why? Because you're like, I can fucking do it. I can do it.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you, by the way?
I'm not a 25 handicap, but yeah, I grabbed that 3-wood.
Sometimes
Players pretending to be hurt because they're playing bad. I've never done that. I've never done that. I'll just say, you know what? I fucking suck today and I'm calling it a day. I don't pretend shit. People hitting at the same time and expecting to know where both balls went.
Keep that pace of play moving. Let's go.
People using a putter to get the ball out of the hole.
Bogey. That's a bogey. If either one of you put your hands up, I would drive over to your house right now.
But wait. What about the guys?
Don't even say it. The little plunger thing.
Yeah, because they have a bad back and they have the little suction cup that they put the. Come on, that you can't be upset with that. Guys that are worth millions yet want to look 5 minutes for a ball 8 clicks up a mountain. Can I tell you? The ball's $2.25 fucking cents. Let's move the fuck on.
The guy you playing with has 38 in his bag. Grab one of his.
And it's dudes. I lose a ball. I lose a ball. All right, give me another one. Like I don't give a shit. Like what is it with guys? And they spend 15 minutes looking for a fucking ball.
They spend less time looking for the ketchup in the refrigerator that's right in front of their face and 20 minutes looking for a ball. I don't know.
John, what is it? What is it about dudes and balls?
First of all, are you fucking done baiting up on every goddamn guy in the world? The two of you man bashing us. I'm sticking up for all the guys out there. If you're playing a money match and you need the goddamn ball, you're going to look for it. You have 3 minutes to look for it. If the ball is off, the coast of the Jersey Shore, that far right, yeah, you know what? We're not going to find that. We're trying not to get ticks or Lyme disease. But if you saw it go in here, and I'm like, I know it's around here, I'm going to look for it. Play a $2 Nassau. Come on.
Men jiggling change in their pocket with my players over the ball. My grandfather used
to
do
my
that.
God. That's like
My grandfather used to do that.
Looking for that quarter. That's great.
Candy paper makes me crazy when people do that.
Candy paper?
Like potato chips, people eating when you're
okay. Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Player pulling the flag stick out and tossing it on the green.
Yeah.
No way.
Come on, Anita.
Wait. I don't toss.
No, you don't.
You gotta put it down, and then you use your putter to guide it down to the ground.
Oh.
The more you know.
You're such a pros pro.
The more you know.
You're such a pros pro. The other caddy in the group being drunk or lazy.
Drunk or lazy?
I've seen both, actually.
Members trying to rake their own bunkers and doing an awful job. I will say this: a lot of times, if I'm sharing a caddy with somebody, I'll be like, "Don't worry about it. I'll rake my own bunker. Like I don't I'm not bougie. Like I got it." And they're like, "No. I try to be nice." Like
the understatement of the year.
If Lee Westwood could rake a bunker, I can rake a bunker.
Yeah, but Lee Westwood actually knows how to rake a bunker.
You know what? That's a good thing. I think we need to teach people.
You guys are like, you ever see those things like that calm you? You just like brush the sand back and forth. I feel like people do these designs in the bunker when they're raking the thing. Like a squiggly line. I'm gonna go this way.
Wait, this is a good one. Singles on Saturdays who expect to play through the pack. Get some fucking friends, buddy.
I got to tell you a funny story. We got this guy at our club, and he'll remain nameless. He always asks for like a Saturday morning 9 holes. But he's like, "Hey, John, get me out single 9 o'clock on Sunday." I'm like, "What? By yourself? You're not going to be able to play through everyone, but it's ridiculous. Singles have no stature on the golf course. Get a friend."
Um,
I'm gonna be fired by the way. It's nice knowing you guys.
I hope that he's not watching this right now.
Knowing you guys. No, he goes to bed at 7:00. He's not watching this.
You can watch it on YouTube.
I think that's it. I think that's. I mean, but it's called the Caddy Network. They've got a website. I follow them on social media, and
This
As
Mark,
Christina,
this
how have
Mark
you
guy is really. I'm a big fan. How heavy is your fucking golf bag?
it's really heavy.
Are you kidding me?
I was really,
No, it's a no, it is. It's like a mobile golf for her shop in her bag.
I was really embarrassed when she came out celebrity, and Phil looked at her and was just like, really?
So I have a great bag. We just went to Myrtle Beach, and somehow Mark's bag was like 3 or 5 pounds lighter than my bag. So I'm not sure, but it would like it. Yeah, it was heavy. And thanks, Mark, for showing up and watching. I appreciate you ratting me out. But yeah, apparently it's about 39.5 pounds right now. It's as per the airline scale. I don't know. It was
40-pound golf bag.
It's a carry bag. It's a Sun Mountain carry bag. I think it's like a really. It was
Bag
like
is like 4.1 pounds on itself. You got 37 pounds of crap in it. Come on,
All right,
Mark, get involved. Let's go.
Let's bring Brett. Let's bring Brett in. If we have any questions, he could throw them our way before we sign off. Brett,
What's up, guys?
What you got for
Brett.
us?
I'd like to lead off with probably the most insightful statement that's been made all night as you guys were talking about men and their balls. Viewer Chris Robinson would like us to know that men are attached to their balls.
Yeah, no shit.
Yes,
I
we
believe
are.
he means this both literally and figuratively. So anyway, I thought I would lead with that. Chris has been watching all night, which is awesome, and I would like to lead off with a statement that he made that I'd like to turn to a question and see if you agree. Because I remember when we had Mike Adams last week, and when we asked him about Bryson and winning the Masters, he said Bryson thinks he's going to beat the course and he's not going to. Do you feel that way, that Bryson was basically trying to outmuscle this course, and the course was just like, nah, G, not this week?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think there was like the ghosts of Augusta past was pretty much be like, yep, you think you can beat us by overpowering? There you go. A little dose of reality. But yeah, I think that's when he finally understands how to take his medicine and play to spots and not try to overpower the golf course, then maybe Anita will start putting money back on him. But until he does that,
you gotta earn Anita's money, right? You gotta earn that faith.
Are we in the Brady Bun?
I love every time Anita tells people I'm gonna do the Q&A, and she always says I'm behind the glass. I'm always like, oh man, I wish I really was behind the glass and not in my basement. But yeah. Have you guys heard about this Wayne Player story coming out of Augusta? Gary Player's son, Wayne?
Yes, I have heard that
okay,
story.
So let me give some context. I want to get your guys' take on it.
Do you have the photo of him?
Oh, the photo is unbelievable.
The photo with his golf balls?
Yeah, so for those who somehow don't know, Gary Player obviously is always one of the elder statesmen and the ceremonial starter, for the Masters, along with Jack, and this year Lee Elder was there. And during Lee Elder getting announced and praise heaped upon him as the first, African American to compete in the Masters, Gary's son Wayne, who was caddying on Gary, it's not funny, I don't know why I'm laughing, but caddying on Gary's bag, was like holding up Gary Player branded golf balls and like trying to market these golf balls during Lee Elder's like whole ceremony to the camera. Like what are our he was and according to, by the way, I have not seen this confirmed.
Absolutely awful that he was doing something like that. It's so
That's
bad.
right. We are not in the business of taking time away from meaningful production to rep the brands of companies. But
it was just in really poor taste on his behalf. I'm sorry.
So here's the
and what they do to him. I mean, you know what they did, right?
So here's the thing. This is according to Gary Player's other son, Mark Player, who is estranged from Wayne Player. They're not What is happening? They are Wayne and Mark Player are not.
And it's gone off the rails.
Wayne and Mark Player are not. They're estranged from each other. Okay, and Mark Player is the one who's told us that Wayne has been banned from Augusta and the Masters for this incident. How do we feel about that? Is that too far?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, what the hell was he thinking?
They do whatever the hell they want to do down there. Let me tell you something.
And they often have.
They
But
often
I
have.
I think he was involved in another scandal at some point or another too. I mean, there was more to it. I think he was involved in some scandal, right? He wrote bad checks for his housing or something.
Yes. He was renting out houses like at Augusta and was like bouncing all sorts of checks and crazy shit.
So yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just a crazy
kids.
story, and it's like, what is Gary Player thinking and feeling right now?
I don't know, but these are my holiday balls.
Oh, those are. Can I also,
nice
guys,
ball.
as you guys were going through the pet peeves of the caddies, and
Right.
listening to you golf snobs talk, about 25 handicaps and 12 feet past the hole, I thought about like, oh man, we should do like an on the tee like foursome round one of these days. I'm not golfing with you guys. Oh, you guys will kill me.
Depends on which Christina shows up. I can either be really good or.
I'll turn to John and hand him my trash, and then he'll yell at me or something.
Christina is a lot of fun once she's had a few transfusions.
I have like 8 new drinks for the golf course now.
Right. Look how much closer she got to the camera since she finished that IC. She's like, you guys are great. I love you.
Any more questions before we sign off?
That is it for the questions. That is it for me, Brett Yaris.
That's it? That's it?
producer. That is it for the
Wait,
questions. We have so
why don't
many
you
like statements.
Why don't you once you make the announcement, share with the viewers out there what you guys just launched?
Yeah, so guys, you were watching the first ever live broadcast on the Pro Golf Network. Pro Golf Network has been brought to you by the founders of Pro Football Network. Pro Football Network is the fastest growing football site on the internet, and we were like, yo, we could do some cool things with golf too. And we're trying to keep that same PFN vibe with PGN, which is, join us and learn a little, laugh a little, and drink a lot. With us as we have a good time talking about golf. No hot takes, no, none of that crazy stuff that goes on in the other networks. Just, like I said, a little bit of learning, a little bit of laughing, and a lot of drinking. And lastly, before I sign off, the RBC, guys, by the way, Pro Football Network's own Trey Wingo is going to be covering the RBC for PGA Tour Live on the PGA app. I promised him I'd give him a shout out on that. So check that out. And then as always, keep coming back here every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to the Pro Golf Network YouTube channel to watch this live. And we'll have all kinds of other content. I'm going to get Mike Adams' interview up there later tonight, so you can check that out from last week. But always make sure you're coming back. We'll always have some cool stuff for you here. That'll do it for me. I'll see you 3 on the other side.
Thank you so much,
right.
Brett. Always appreciate you. Guys, great job today. Again, if you missed any portion of the show, we recapped the Masters. We previewed the Heritage. Hopefully we gave you some winners. And we'll be with you every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, right here on all our social media platforms. You can see them right there and there and there. Exactly. And of course on PFN 365. So guys, have a great week. Enjoy the Heritage. Go Webb Simpson. I have a feeling, and go get on that Willie Zalatoris train. Woo! Have a great night, everybody.